You know where we're at here? Michigan and Lake. Look at that Michigan Avenue sign. It's crooked. The L train's going around the bend there. We got bright, beautiful sunshine. 36 degrees. We might get up to the mid 40s later today. So hopefully the coldest days of the week are behind us. I'm gonna head down Wabash a little bit before we head into Millenium Park. We'll see if we can check out some ice skating. Again, I'm gonna try to document the ice skating rinks before they close them down the beginning of March. And before that, I noticed on my walk yesterday back from when I bought the shoes at the Gothic Target there that I went by the memorial to the two teens that were gunned down on January 26th, 2024. Hey Sandra, Chris, Amber, thanks for tuning in. I know it's kind of somber. I just want to document it because we were live streaming that day and we were talking about it this morning, and so before I forget, I want to document the memorial. There's the green line heading around the bend there on the L there. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Happy Thursday. Again, we got bright, beautiful sunshine, 36 degrees. We might get up to 45. Hey, Joe, how's it going there? Anna Marie. And let's see, the way I roll, Alvin, Dolores, thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for the nice emojis and everything. We'll head down Wabash a little bit, and we'll see if we can get there. You can see the L train moving by in the distance. They got the green lights out at the Elephant Castle. Even though this is a British pub, I'm sure they'll be celebrating a British themed pub. I think they'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, along with Emerald Loop. Emerald Loop's up that way on Wabash. We're heading south here into the sun there. Dolores, thanks everybody. So let's see, what am I missing here? Yeah, the lunch crew, good. Favorite time of the day, good. East Lansing's tuning in, Chris is tuning in. Yeah, Sandra, Chris, Amber, Anna Marie, Joe, Ray, Roll, Alvin, Dolores, thanks everybody for tuning in. And yeah, we'll just head down Wabash. I won't stay in the loop the entire time. We'll head back out in the Millenium Park. I just want to head down Wabash a little bit to document that memorial there that I was talking about. You'll see it when I get there. I noticed it on the way back from the Gothic Target yesterday, and I want to make sure I document it because it goes with the we were live streaming on the Riverwalk on January 26th when that horrible event happened that two teen students were gunned down just walking out of the Innovations High School. It's such a illustrates the gun violence in the city, the senseless violence, and I don't want to dwell on it. We were talking about it this morning. There's a brown line heading right by us here really slowly on the loop here on Wabash. So we'll film this. The brown line goes by here. It won't be so hard to see once we won't be facing the sun here as we turn here. And here's a classic scene here. Look at the Jewelers Building, looking up Wabash, the Trump Tower, and the L going by. Here we'll cross underneath the tracks here. And we'll head down this way. There it is. It's still there. There's still the same train there. It's how the brown line's pretty long. Here we got the light here, so we'll head down Wabash and see if we can find this memorial. Look at the towers there. Now you see, now we're outside of the glare of the sun, so I can. Jeffrey Bear talks about this. You know, they save these facades here. This is the Jewelers Row on Wabash when they built the Heritage here, and this is an amazingly dense urban environment here along the L tracks, and that's what makes it. Look at the detail. They got a green roof. Got a green roof up there. Here comes the green line. Heading around the loop here. Chicago. Groundhog Day, yeah. We saw Punxsutawney Phil. Didn't see a shadow. Look how they got these pinata type things hanging from the light poles here. See, they got them here. I noticed they got on the other side of the street. They got these, I call them pinatas. You see how they can hang the little decorative art sculptures there hanging from the light poles. That's kind of interesting here. But you see, we're behind Macy's, Marshall Fields. We went in there yesterday. We saw the Tiffany Dome. And we got up and close and personal and went to the 5th floor. So this is the Washington and Wabash station on the loop. This is where the horrible incident happened there on January 26th. We were walking on the Riverwalk, and we saw the police and the ambulance. We stumbled through here like 20 minutes after it actually happened. And there's the memorial up there. This is actually where the event happened. I don't mean to dwell on it. I just want to make sure I document it here for in memory of these teens. And here's the rumble of the train going by. It's kind of loud over here. Here it is. This is the memorial here. I saw this on the way back. Here's the two teens. One of them's, the last name was Boston. The other one, the last name was Williams here. They were like 16 and 17 years old. They were gunned down right here. There it is. Ontario Williams, age 17. The other one, last name was Boston. 16 years old, little Rob Boston. Ontario Williams, you know, we got to document this. And they had balloons, flowers. Here's their photos. People have messages here. And these are the two teens. And we were live streaming this day. Some of you might have remembered that. We came across there. They had a police line. A car pulled up. They came out of the high school at lunchtime. Innovation High School it's in this block. It's actually on the entrance is on the other side. There's the Museum of Illusions. Remember, we went through there, and that's, you know, this is where it happened. And it's so unfortunate. Here, we'll head down this way. We'll cross right over into Millennium Park if I go this way. Nah, it's so sad. Yep. But thanks for tuning in. It's the, you know, like I said, I don't film the city as I want it to be. I film the city as it is, the good, bad, and the ugly. And you know, it's people. Someone this morning on my TikTok, they asked me. They said, "What's the thing you dislike about Chicago the most?" And of course, it's the senseless gun violence. You know, and nothing solved. Nothing solved. What does that solve? You know, and we talk about it in Prohibition. We talk about how it still continues to this day. That's why I don't handle it well when people ask me to. The sound of the L's. It's hard for me to talk. I got to get away from the sound of the L's. I don't want to talk so loudly over the L train going by all the time. But that's why I don't react well when people ask me to go to O Block and stuff, because for me it just glorifies the gun violence, because King Von was murdered, you know, Odie was murdered, you know, it like fetishizes and glamorizes through the drill hip-hop music what this city's known for, and it leads to people joking about Chirac and the reputation that we have. And I don't want to make it worse by just making TikToks and live streaming about it all the time, you know. And it's just but I do want to show the memorial there, and it is part of the city, and we have to accept it, you know. And I struggle with it like everybody else. So we'll move on. We'll film the alleys here. We'll go in the Millennium Park. We'll film people having a good time on the ice skating rink. And thanks Thanks everybody for listening to my attempt to make sense of any of this. Yeah, Krista, how you doing? Dolores, you remember that day? Yeah, you remember that day? Yeah, if you go back and look at the video, we walked right through there like 20 minutes after it happened. And it took me, I didn't realize what had happened, you know, until the news later that night. And there's events like that that happen all over the city, tragically, every week. And kids as young as 14 years old, you know, it's just so tragic. But we'll move on here. So we're over here, we're at Madison in Michigan. We'll cross the street here, we'll head to Millennium Park, we'll head into the sunshine, and we'll look forward to spring. We're almost to March. Can you believe that tomorrow's going to be March 1st? And we'll start looking forward to the Shiditarod on Saturday, where they race around the shopping carts for charity. People dress up in themed costumes, and here we got some beans. Here's some. Hey, how's it going? Look at this. You got the little beans and the little keychains and stuff like that. The lotes. You got the nice stuff you can buy here. There's the bean looking good, and the people are ice skating. And then on Sunday, they're going to do the polar plunge. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic weather day on Sunday for sure. Sunshine, and it'll be in the mid 60s for the polar plunge, what the forecast is. And Lake Michigan water is going to be cold, but you know, at least when people get out of the water, they'll be able to warm up. Hey, happy Leap Day. Yeah, happy Leap Day. Happy February 29th, 2024. Look at the bean, looking good. People ice skating here at the this is the Millennium Park, the large ice skating rink right by the bean. And look at that nice view. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good Thursday here, and it's so nice seeing people just skate around the ice skating rink. Of course, this is free if you bring your own skates. You can of course rent skates right over there. Go to the Millennium Hall there and have lunch, and there's got restrooms. Oh, a guy took a tumble, but hopefully he's okay. And look at this beautiful skyline, beautiful blue skies. We've been having some really nice weather days this whole month of February. I mean, I should really, you know, not complain about the weather, even though we had those storms on Tuesday night. Amazingly warm weather we had Monday and Tuesday this week. But yeah, happy Leap Day, Christopher. Thanks for tuning in. Paul, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, the way I roll, happy Leap Day. Look at the Millennium Park. We'll head up. We'll take a peek at the bean. I'm really hoping that I don't know if there's a completion date for the construction to be completed for the bean there. They're just redoing the plaza. They put the tar down, and hopefully I want to see evidence that they're actually capping it with the new tile unilock or whatever they're going to. See, they got the tar down. And the bean still has this protective covering here. Here, let me raise my selfie stick here. There's the Great Bean of Chicago, Millennium Park. See, they still got construction. They still got a lot of work to do. So it probably won't be until April unless they really start kicking it to gear this next month. I don't know. There's the bean with its diaper. And yeah, let's head across the pedestrian bridge. Look at all these people. See, this is the closest you can get to the bean. It shows you, Christopher, remember how we talked about the public plazas in the West Loop and how there wasn't anybody using them? And here we got Millennium Park. People are trying to take pictures of it, get as close as they can. Shows you what a successful public space this is when it is, you know, functioning. And once they got the construction done, there'll be every day, all seasons of the year, there's usually a crowd gathered to take pictures at the bean here. And Millennium Park's well used. You can take the bridgeway there, go right up to the Art Institute. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, look at this amazing blue sky we got. And it's going to start to warm back up for the weekend, which is great. Let's see here. So we'll head past the hedges here. They got beehives behind this bridgeway that connects up to the modern wing of the Art Institute. Look at all the people heading up this way, checking out the maps. So welcome to Chicago, welcome Millennium Park. Thanks everybody for tuning in. So of course here's the Frank Gehry Pritzker bandshell. You can see the skyline of Lakeshore East behind there. I can't even get the top of the A on it, it's so tall. But here, let's check out the Lurie Gardens here. Let's see if I want to see signs of spring here. We saw some daffodils. The grass is trying to come out here. I guess there'll be some flowers here. See how they got this hedge? This hedge that kind of takes you over to the modern wing of the Art Institute, but there's little gaps here where we can. Yeah, that's when Millennium Park. Yeah, it took them a few years after the Millennium to finish it, like the bean and stuff. Certain parts of it were open in 2004, but it wasn't until 2005, 2006 that everything was completed for Millennium Park. Yeah, and oh, Christopher's got some photos of the bean there. Yeah, spring 2024. Yeah, that's when they're supposed to have the construction completed for the bean there. And here, this is the Lurie Garden. So we entered it again from behind the hedge there. There's a few green shoots. There's some kind of ground cover stuff here. I don't see any flowers coming up yet. And of course, this is a green roof. There's parking underneath here. They got a nice paved walkway. They got a few benches you can sit on next to the hedges there. But hopefully, a month from now, this will be bursting forth with spring flowers. You got a few green shoots trying to come out here. Last day of February. There we go. There's some purple flowers trying to come out there. Can you see them there? We're in the Lurie Gardens here. I'm trying to look for. Yeah, there's some purple flowers starting to. You know, the tulips are starting to come up a little bit on Michigan Avenue. You see, there's some purple flowers. You see them there? Look at the skyline there. There's the Sears Tower, the whole loop skyline there. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a great place to spend quiet time. You can, you know, sometimes they haven't been turning on this water feature as much as they did originally. People throw money in here. It's kind of a canal, and it's supposed to symbolize the industrialized part of Chicago and the river. You can. Sometimes I lose my connection if I go up over. For some reason, that's a dead zone to me for my bandwidth. Sometimes it's even hard for me to stream right here, but I don't know if it's the hedges. I don't know why. Remember, sometimes I would lose my connection at the bean. It was really strange here, but here we'll head right through here. Due to repairs, the Lurie Garden water feature is closed. That's what that says, so I don't know how long that's going to last there. Oh, sorry. Same. sorry. Yeah. People said she and I didn't realize she was trying to take a video there. I was walking through her. She had the timer on her camera there. I got to be more cognizant of other people doing stuff here. See, look at this great view. You can see the arches here for the speakers. The structure that holds up all the speakers for the great lawn here. This great concert and event space we have at the Pritzker Pavilion here. One of your best walks, yeah. Walking along the Chicago River. Well, I'm glad you did that, Christopher, and hopefully you'll be back. And thanks for tuning in. And I know you do great videos of the New York, New Jersey region. We talked about that before. Please check out Christopher Dotson's page there. At least on TikTok. I don't know if you're on other formats. And I know Chris posts his video. Other people post videos. We got Christopher Dotson and we got Chris Gustafson from the North Shore of Chicago. They both post good videos. And Chris walks from Chicago, walks through the nature preserves. But Christopher Dotson shows New York City. And I enjoy. You Should Eat. She had a video of the lightning that we got on Tuesday. And there was another guy in Chicago that went out by the lake. He posts good videos around Chicago on TikTok, and he got the lightning out in the lake on Tuesday night after the storms went through, and it was freaky how powerful those storms were in February, you know. Yeah, Chris, yeah, you're on TikTok. That's good. That's awesome. Yeah. So I got some shoes. Yeah, I got some shoes yesterday. I did not get a projector. I talked to I finally relented and talked to somebody that worked at the store, and they helped me out, and they only had one projector left, and the resolution was very poor. It was a very cheap projector. I was looking for a cheap projector, but it was even too cheap by my standards. The resolution of the image would have been so grainy on my wall, it wouldn't have been worth it. They make some cheap LED projectors. I used to get the nice Canon projectors that had like the lens with the light. They produce a lot of heat, but they have better resolution. But the bulbs eventually burn out after about 3,000 hours. And the cost of replacing the bulbs are almost, the price of the LED cheap projectors are actually cheaper than the bulbs to replace the other ones. And I would, you know, year after year, I'd buy a new bulb, and I got tired of doing that. So now I switched the LED projectors. The lifetime, they last such a long time, but they're not as bright, the lumens. But just something to play with. And I got these 14-foot ceilings at my newly refurbished old apartment, and I take advantage of those high ceilings by projecting artwork and images on the wall that people can see through my windows at night. And I just mainly do it for myself. Kind of sets off the space. But they got the roof torn off. Wow, I was on Channel 2 News. Chris, I know those storms were bad. Well, I'm glad your mother's house wasn't hopefully damaged, but that's pretty close for comfort. I know you're probably worried about your mother. I know she watches your dog a lot, and thanks for, I know I was worried about people in those storms because I saw North Aurora got tornadoes in Kane County, and you even up in Lake County. It went kind of north of the city. I was walking, I was live streaming Tuesday night, and people were like, "You better get home." And I appreciate people's, you know, filling me in on how close those storms were. I made it home about 45 minutes before they hit. People were calling me. They were like, "Turn on the news." You know, they said there's tornadoes, and we got to. And so I watched the local news, Channel 2 and Channel 7 and Channel 5 were. They broke into regular programming to show the storms. All the weather people were showing that line of storms coming on Tuesday night. And it's just, you know, to me, we're getting these extreme weather events more often. I know other people are like, "Nah, no, it's not global warming." I'm like, something's happening. I don't know if it's just, you know, look, there's wildfires in Texas. There's wildfires in Canada in wintertime. You know, those wildfires in Texas are pretty big. And, you know, Deanna, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching on YouTube. That's great. Julie Reed. Yeah. Yeah. You saw that? Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know, Julie. Yeah, you got a daughter who lives in this area. I know that's why hopefully this is a good service. You know, at the very least, people can see what the weather is, if the snow, the storms. You know, I try to, if I stumble across, like we stumbled across that fire in Lakeview, and I ran to the scene and filmed like a news person. I was there on the street interviewing people and getting first-hand accounts about what the firefighters were going in, breaking windows and climbing up ladders. And I got to get my press pass. Keep putting it off. But here, great lawn here, Millenium Park. We just crossed the, look at that nice bridge there, pedestrian bridge that gets you across Columbus, Millenium Park. Let's go over and we'll check out the, here, I'll go this way this time. I'll circle around this way, and we'll walk completely around the ice skating ribbon here, Maggie Daly Park, on a beautiful leap day, February 29th, 2024, lunchtime. 36 degrees, maybe heading up to 40 by the time this walk's over Fahrenheit. And yeah, let's check out the ice skating ribbon here. See what's shaking. Yeah, thanks everybody for greeting each other. Fort Worth, okay, yeah. Yeah, I've been to Fort Worth. I've been to the stockyards. Fort Worth has a nice downtown. You have nice art museums and things like that. Stockyards are north of the downtown. Of course, there's a rodeo there and nice little historic strip there where see, isn't it amazing? That's one way that Chicago and Fort Worth and Kansas City are related. The stockyards, the railroads used to take all the, you know, Texas Longhorns. They would drive them up through Oklahoma to Kansas to like Dodge City in the old 1800s, and they would ship them on the rail to Chicago to be processed. That was the original stockyards. But then Kansas City and then eventually Fort Worth was closer to the source. And so the stockyards first moved to Kansas City and Dodge City, and then it moved to Fort Worth. And then Fort Worth became the stockyards because it was closer to the Black Angus, Texas Longhorns, and all the cattle that they used to drive on those. The original cowboys would drive them through Oklahoma up to the railheads in Kansas. And that's one way that through the stockyards, those cities are connected. And it became too expensive and congested to ship them all the way to Chicago, you know, and that's, the rest is history. But here we are at the ice skating ribbon here, Maggie Daly Park. There's not too many people out. And we'll see if we catch some more people. Here comes some people ice skating around here. Well, thanks, Danny Hensley. Yeah, thanks for explaining that. So, is it? I'm glad you're on, and I appreciate your feedback here. There, you got Blackhawks. You got the wow. Look at that. It's awesome. Look at the nice sweaters they got there, skating around the ice skating ribbon. So, is it even worth it to get a press pass? Am I just paying like a stupid fee to get some fake card that the police or no one's got to recognize? Because, you know, in the old days, you'd be like, press, you know, you hold up the press. I know, like, All Day New York City, you know, Christopher Dotson, I'm sure you know Dan, All Day New York City, or at least follow him on TikTok. He has a press pass, and I saw he was trying to use it to get access, like, when he was at the Chinese New Year parade in New York. And they let him beyond the fence because he had a press pass. Is it even worth it getting a press pass? For me, as being an amateur live streamer, does it have any value? Like, we got the political conventions coming up, and is it not worth it for me to waste my money on joining the official? There's a bunch of, like, an international press pass. There's like other, you know, it's so confusing. It might just be a waste of money, and I might just like forego getting a press pass. Because I know it doesn't really, it's not the same as it used to be in the old newspaper days, you know. But we'll look into it. Danny Hensley, thanks for giving your comment there. I'm asking, is it worth it for me as an amateur vlogger to get a press pass? Because I've talked with Tara and other people, and Sarah, and they're like, well, maybe you should get a press pass, but I don't think it has much value. Like you said, there's no such thing as a press pass, and I agree with you, because to me, it's just like a piece of paper you have in your pocket. No one cares. The police don't care if you got a press pass or not. You know, they're going to be like, stand back, you know. Yeah, we'll try it out. It costs money. So, okay, Chicago Police Department issues press creds, but it has no value. It's just a way for the CPT to violate your personal privacy. That's the other aspect of it. You're on a list, and then they can check you out. You know, I know. Yeah. See, that's thanks for the information there. Thanks, Danny. And I know you're a good resource. You know all this stuff, and that's why I want to bounce it off. Well, you know me. The sign said long-haired freaky people need not apply. You know, all these official hoops and registrations really have not much value. You know, if I'm really a hippie, why do I need a card, the man, to say, you know, I got some official accreditation, which really has no value. It's just you buy into the establishment and they set the rules anyway, you know. Even the same with our platforms. You know, they could remove us at any time for any reason. We all know that. That's why we all have to have backups and backups to the backups. But press pull. Yeah, see, we're back to the Stooges. That's great, Chris. I like that. The wisdom of the Three Stooges. But hey, welcome to Maggie Daily Ice Skating Ribbon. We're here on the last day of February, the extra day we get, February 29th, 2024. Happy leap year. Once every 4 years we get an extra day. And yeah, these people are really moving here. They're really, yeah, skating in short sleeves. Feels pretty nice here. And pretty soon they'll convert this over to I think it goes till March the 10th. Here, let's head up the stairs here. No skates beyond this. Well, no, let's go around this curve here. Yeah, stick it to the man. Yeah, that's exactly why I was thinking about getting a press pass, because we have the Democratic National Convention is going to be held in Chicago this year. The Republican is going to be held in Milwaukee. You know, I do want to make a trip to Milwaukee. I don't want to get involved in any melees or mass demonstrations for either of those things. But if it's newsworthy, you know, I'm sure something crazy is going to happen at one of these conventions somewhere. Not that I want to be part of the craziness, but I want, you know, it's a newsworthy event. It's something, and, you know, it's really hard for me to ride the neutral political line, especially in this election cycle, because once again, what I fear, it looks like the courts are going to decide, have a lot to do with this election, because already it's going to the courts even before we're the election. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen after the election. So once again, the Supreme Court is weighing in on the executive branch, and we're going to have a constitutional crisis. So get ready for a fun-packed year. I know even though we all want to escape and not talk about politics, we're not, just like Ralph Nader says, if you don't turn on to politics, politics will turn on you. And it's not by choice that I want to do this, it's by necessity. You know, you have to stay involved. You have to read the news, no matter how depressing and frustrating the news might be, because what am I going to do, bury my head in the sand and be a nihilist and just act like none of this is going to affect the country or this city? It's you know, the convention's being held here. It's going to impact us, you know, and or at least fill up the hotels. Hey, Maggie Daily Ice Skating Ribbon. Thanks everybody for tuning in here. And there's no press pass. Doesn't exist. Yeah, Danny, that's what I was worried. You know, I think it's just like there's these organizations. They'll take your money and they'll give you something that looks like a press pass, but it just means you belong to the organization. It doesn't mean the Chicago Police Department's going to recognize it. It doesn't mean any local newspapers are going to recognize it, because, you know, it just becomes, you know, it's like joining another club. Well, they'll give you a card, you know, and it has little value in reality, you know, and it's just, you know, and I want to see what, like, Dan All Day New York City, he has a press pass, but what does it get him? You know, was he able to get more better access to the Chinese New Year parade in Chinatown, Manhattan? I don't know. We got pretty up and close and personal to the one in our Chinatown here in Chicago, and I didn't have a press pass. I was walking right down the street, you know. I'm going to cover the Shai-Diderot. The Shai-Diderot is it's a charity event. Like usually, like last year when they did the start, once the start happened, I started running with the people, like running with the bulls. I was running with the shopping carts, racing with them. I'm going to try to do it this year too. I'm going to try to get in a better position for the starting line for the Shai-Diderot on Saturday. It starts at 12:30. They race around the shopping carts. They're going to start at Ashland and Fulton Street in the West Loop. and then they're going to race through West Town. But once they, like before, I'll be able to mingle with the whole like registration area. Same thing with, we went to the Pride Parade in June up in Lakeview, like, you know, and I was walking right next to the floats before the parade started. It was wide open. No one asked for a press pass, you know. It was just, they thought I was like part of a float. Same with the Irish parade. The St. Patrick's Day parade is going to be right here. I'll try to get next to the floats before they start the parade after they dye the river green. Years past, I was on the pipe fitters float one year, and it was pretty, you know, I was amazed how you could just like walk to the staging area and people were drinking beer and hanging out at the floats, and they're like, it was pretty wide open, you know. There was no like security or anything. There was, you know, security for the parade, but press credentials don't help people filming the Black Lives Matter protests. They get beat up by the police just like everybody else. Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. I know, yeah. We learned that, you know, look at the 68 Democratic Convention. That the press passes didn't help those people out either, trying to cover both the mainstream press that tried to cover the police beating people with batons back in 68. Some of the press got beat up by the police too, because the police didn't want the press covering it. Isn't that interesting? And that might be same with Black Lives Matter, you know, and other protests. So you know, I've been around enough. I know exactly what you're saying here. So sometimes the camera is your best weapon, and you got to withstand a little. Everybody takes a beating sometime. Just try to stay out of the fray and be respectful. And I don't want to impede, you know, security either. But street creds, yeah, doing the streams. Yeah, see, I'm glad this has value. Thanks, Julie and Elena and Danny. And yeah, I guess it has value for like the auto show. I saw Jay did a good job. Jay, City Walking Girl, she got there an early sneak preview of the auto show. She was there, I think, on the press day. And I'll have to talk to Jay to see how she did that, if she got a special ticket. Yeah, I did not cover the auto show this year. I intended to, but because I was moving and working, and we covered the Chinese New Year parade, but I didn't get to the auto show. And you know, I was torn, because I'm like, why am I promoting these auto industry things when I don't even own a car myself? You know, I'd rather promote transit, my personal means of getting around, as opposed to a private vehicle. But I'm not against people owning cars. I know it's a necessary part of life and people's businesses, like Chris. But yeah, here we're crossing Columbus. There's the South Loop. Look at the people taking photos here. It's always a popular photo spot right here. Oh wow, that's great. Look at that. Yeah, that is awesome. People enjoying the day and celebrating. That's great. Yeah. So here we'll head behind him here, so we don't. Oh, thank you. Just get through it. Thank you. I was gonna go behind. There, look at this beautiful skyline view. There, we'll get a nice view of the Pritzker Pavilion. Yeah, see, it has value. It's get a nice overview of the city. We talk about history and culture and city life and transit and parks and people. The city's really made up of people, and some groups move out, other groups move in. Neighborhoods change over time. We talk about it, and look at all this stuff. Okay, so the organization that does the auto show issues press creds. So you have to register with that specific, the auto show, and that makes sense, and that's a good way to explain it. So, yeah, I guess it's specific for each thing. You know, like like last year when the NASCAR came, you know, I didn't get a ticket for it because, again, I had qualms about like buying into the NASCAR brand. I was happy that it was a spectacle that I wanted to cover, how it took over Grant Park. It did take over Grant Park, which, you know, it was taking of the commons, these people that use the park. You know, this big corporate entity paid the city some money to just take over our park, just like NFL did it in years past. And of course, Lollapalooza does it every year, but the Lollapalooza pays a lot more money than NASCAR did. But it mainly benefits the hotels, you know, and just like Taylor Swift benefited the hotels too. But I was hanging on the fence. I didn't have a press pass. I didn't have a ticket to go into NASCAR, but I still found a way to film it, and we lost that footage, you know. But there, look at the nice skyline view there. You can see the Sears Tower, Pittsfield building. I'm like a professor. Yeah, people always say I should do they want guided tours, and you know, this is a form of a tour. Appreciate you enjoying it here. Yeah, the walking tour of Louis Sullivan building. Yeah, I want to see that, Chris. You know all about Louis Sullivan. That's how we started, you know. We started talking about Roosevelt University, the auditorium building, all the Louis Sullivan buildings. I know I haven't hit them all. There's still more. I did see, you know, I posted that video, the last one he did up there in Lincoln Square. That's that music place. It was the Krause Music Store. If you don't have a chance, if you're ever in Lincoln Square, check out that Krause Music Store, the last building that Louis Sullivan did. I got a TikTok on it. It's just amazing, the detail. And again, he was destitute. He didn't make a fortune in architecture like Frank Lloyd Wright. And he became. It's sad that a lot of the great architects we talk about, like Harry Weiss and Louis Sullivan, ended up towards the end of their careers, they were alcoholics. That's what being an architect will do to you. It'll drive you to drink, you know, working for clients. They were artists, not businessmen, you know. That's the problem, you know. And but hey, look at the Pritzker band shell here. Yeah, thanks everybody. How's everybody? What else is going on here? Look at this great lawn here. Yeah, later this year they'll have the Jazz and Blues Festival here. They had the symphony practices here in the summertime. A lot of times at lunchtime we'll walk through here, and the symphony will be practicing, and we'll sit down in the seat and just listen to the opera singers, the choral music. You know, sometimes they'll have DJs doing EDM music. And they do movies in the park. They'll do movies in the park right here. I've seen many movies in the park right here. And people bring their wine and just sit out in lawn chairs and blankets. It's nice. It's our outdoor shared public space here. Yeah, thanks Richard. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, Howard Rourke. Yeah, the Ayn Rand book there, The Fountainhead. Yeah. Yeah, see, we walk by those murals there over by the Jewel Osco there in Sandburg Village. Carl Sandburg, of course, was a writer and a poet, and then they got Ernest Hemingway, Ayn Rand, Betty Smith. They got James Baldwin. They got James Baldwin portrait on there. Great American writers, very important writers. And of course, Upton St. Clair, or no, yeah, that wrote the Jungle, the book about the stockyards. But here, let's go by the bean here. And there's some construction workers there. You can see through the fence. We were here before. What time we got? 12:45. Yeah. What could we do here? Let's head back into the loop here for a little bit and see if we can get some scenes of the L train again there on Wabash. It's such a great. We'll walk straight up Wabash up to the river and catch some views. We'll see if the hot tub boat's out today on the river. There's the Crown Fountain. And yeah, they probably got people cleared off the ice skating rink. They usually bring out the Zamboni this time. And yeah, they got they got those cones out there. Those weren't out there the last time. I wonder, I guess they're going to looks like they got a I guess Hilton put their brand there in the middle. I guess you can see it, but you have to get up by the beam to see it there. But yeah, on weekends they have security here for the safety of people here. So oh, the stamp inside the year, the cultural center. Okay. Yeah, look at that. 1 million acres already burned in the Texas wildfire. I mean, that, you know, here we are in February and there's wildfires burning in Texas. I mean, it's too early for that. You know, it shows you, to me, climate change is real. And I know it's controversial, me talking about it. It's not just our wild weather. It's the fact that, you know, we have more wildfires all over the place. And it's accelerating, you know, all over the world. Australia, here, we got them here. They have them in Canada. It affects our air quality. Look, St. Patrick's Day Bash, Parade Day, March 16th. So we'll be sure to cover that. So this year, I'll have the backup battery in the hotspot. So hopefully I'll be able to do better coverage of the Dyeing the River Green, which they do before the parade. And then we'll head down here into Grant Park along Columbus. They'll have the St. Patrick's Day parade there on the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, the 16th. And then we'll head up through the river north and go up through the bars and head through the loop, and there'll be people celebrating, going to the bars and all day long, and we'll see how long we can last. Voice to text, yeah. Yeah, lots of winds and dangerous combination there for the wildfires. Yeah, I agree. The bean, yeah, here's the bean. Look how nice it looks in the sun there behind the ice skating rink there. Thanks for tuning in here. So, yeah, here's a map of Millenium Park. Of course, you can find this online. That's what we just walked through there. Millenium Park, the Crown Fountain, Brisker Pavilion, Cloud Gate. Hey, they're selling hot chocolate tamales. They got the little snow globes. How's it going? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, that's great. So here, we'll head across the street here, and we'll wait for the light to change here. Yeah, look at all these globes. They got water, got little globes with John Hancock. Let's head over to Wabash here. Yeah, get the corned beef and cabbage ready. Yeah, they'll have all kinds of Irish specials. We're still in February 29th. There you see the parking garage entrances to the lanes where you can go into the Millenium Park garages here. We'll head over to Wabash and head straight up to the river here. We got 1249. We'll go by this cow. They got this cow here by the cultural center left over from when they had the bulls on parade. And run with the bulls here. Look at that. Remember when these were all over the city, I think 1999. We still see some of them, like there's the one on the roof there at Dickens and Clark Street that people have bought them and adorned their houses with them. There, they're starting to do the St. Patrick's Day advertisements already. Here's the Cultural Center. Look at the entrance to the Cultural Center. And here, we'll get the L coming by. It sounds like it's coming here. So we'll head over to Wabash and Washington here. There it is, right on time. That was a short little pink line heading through there. And they got the mural on the back side of the Cultural Center. We've shown that before, to women's civil rights there. Pittsfield building, look at that. You can live in that building. Got, of course, the Pittsfield Cafe. We show that all the time. The cow. Oh, I was supposed to look at its ear. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. What's in the ear? Is there a? Yeah, I think I saw something about that. I will have to go back by there, and there's some hidden little details there in that bull. I remember that too. I should have lingered there longer. You have a Longhorn Parade in Fort Worth? Yeah, you have to film that. I know. I have family that live in. How's it go? I have family that lives in Houston, and every March they do yeah, I don't know if they come from Fort Worth, or I think they come from San Antonio or Austin. They drive cattle to Houston, and then they have the big rodeo there at the football stadium down by the Astrodome, the Houston, they used to call it Reliant Field. I don't know what they call it now. No, Reliant's the other one. But they have a big rodeo there, and they have a barbecue. They have all the parking lots. They have a giant barbecue there in Houston every March. So I know you probably do something in Fort Worth as well. There's the green line heading through on Wabash here. Scenes and sounds of the city on a beautiful leap day. And look at the Jewelers Building and how the Wabash leads you right to the tall Trump Tower. Look how they got these, I call them piñatas, but they're hanging from the light fixtures here along Wabash. They got them on a lot of the light fixtures. Some of them are pretty beat up. That was like an octopus. They've been up here for a while here to kind of beat up. But here, we'll head straight up Wabash here. Let me get across the street here before this light changes. Cars are ready to go. Make sure nobody's coming in the bike lane here. Hey, look at the Jewelers Building. Look at those. Those used to be water towers there. They hit them in those little cupolas on the side. If you watch one of the Transformers movie, they destroy that building. And they also destroy the Trump Tower, and they rappel off the top of it and have a big battle scene here in Chicago for the Transformers movie. There's a water tower right there. So we're north of Randolph on Wabash, on the edge of the loop in Chicago. Just enjoying this beautiful sunshine, reversing our steps here. You got the stock show and rodeo. It's so commercial. Yeah, everything gets taken over by sponsorships, and yeah, it ruins everything. But I guess, you know, if it funds it, I don't know if there's a mission or not. But sounds like another train's coming here. Maybe we'll get it going around the bend here. Here comes another L train. There it comes. It's hard to see with the glare of the sun. Here comes a brown line heading around the loop here. Slowing down for the curve. So let's get up to the curve here. Here's Elephant Castle. We can make it up to the curve in time to see this brown line head around the northeast corner of the loop here. Let's get over here to the corner here. There, it's rounding the bend. We'll cross right underneath it here. Get over here, we could actually see it going this way. So this is Lake Street looking west. There's a brown line going by. We'll head right up past the let's go up past the Emerald Loop here, and we'll cross under there we go. Let's see if this last car is gonna go here. Running the yellow light there. Here's Lake Street looking west, Harold Washington College. There's the Virgin Hotels. Look at this nice building. Look how the sun hits that. Look at the detail. Multiple levels there, and look at all the terracotta in between the windows. And now it's the Virgin Hotels. In the summertime they have a lifts couch that they sit out there, but they must have took it in for the wintertime. They were still on Wabash here, north of Lake, heading towards Wacker. We'll go by the Emerald Loop. Yeah, there'll be a line out the door. St. Patrick's Day weekend here at the Emerald Loop Bar and Grill, right in the Jewelers Building. But we're going by Harold Washington College here. There's the Hotel Monaco. Yeah, that's where the L fell. The L fell off the track there. Yeah, it is. If you look online, right there, see that bend? The L fell off the track there. It was dangling off the side. There's amazing photographs. Here's the Emerald Loop Bar and Grill. Look, It's February 29th, and they already got the leprechaun. They got some of the decorations ready to go. The Emerald Loop here. You can hang out the Emerald Loop in the Loop of Chicago. See if we get another train going by here. If we get up here just a little bit. Here, look at this motorcycle. Somebody rode their motorcycle today, even though it was 25 degrees this morning. 22 degrees. Here comes the. Here, let's zoom in here. Here's where the L fell off the tracks here. So where this. That's another brown line heading around right there in the 1980s, like you were talking about. The L came off the tracks there. It was dangling off the side. It was horrible. But they got it fixed, and it hasn't happened since. So it's a sharp turn there on this is Wabash looking south here. Hey, they got one goes one way, one goes the other way. There's an eclipse of the trains there. And if I pan out here, look at that. Let me hold on a second here. Let's look at this nice view of Wabash. The density of Wabash here, downtown Chicago. Hey, let's head up to the river here real quick. We got 1257 here. See, you can go down to Lower Wacker. That's why these steps, you go down to Lower Wacker, the bypass that goes around. Isn't that a nice view, Christopher? Yeah, thanks for watching here. Never gets old. That's why I appreciate everybody for, I know I often go by the same areas, but you know, I'm just fortunate that I work downtown here and get to walk down Michigan Avenue every day past these beautiful vintage skyscrapers and the Gold Coast and Old Town and the nice charming residential streets there in Lincoln Park. And if other people enjoy it, it's worth it. And I know I don't get to other areas of the city as much as other people would like, but we'll get there eventually. I got over 90 videos from the south and west side. You can check out my TikTok page there. They got tabs on it. Get that nice e-bike going around there. Here's crossing Wacker Drive there. There's, of course, Wrigley Building, the Tribune. Here's the George Washington. Look at the Jewelers Building, 35 East Wacker Drive. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. And here we'll go down to. I won't go down to Riverwalk. We see here comes a tour boat going by, so I'll get right to the edge here. They got this cocoa bar, and they got like you can get coffee and whatever. But here, we got a riverboat, Evening Star, going right by. Here's the Chicago River. Look at this nice scene here. February 29th, we got a riverboat architectural tour going by on the Chicago River right underneath the Marina Towers. Beautiful sunshine day. And heading under the Wabash Bridge. There's the State Street Bridge. And here's the Vietnam War Memorial. That maybe they'll turn on the fountain. Usually in the springtime they have some official memorial. And look at
what's soul in God? The spirit. Oh, boy, man, that shit.
That's going. I heard that guy talking, but he's got headphones on, and so he's just talking to himself. I thought he was talking to me, but he's talking to whatever he's listening to. That's great. So here, look at that. Look at the beautiful Jewelers Building here. He was checking me out. People see me with my blue coat, they think I'm with the police. I'm not with the police. See, he's yelling over there. I don't know what he's yelling. There's always, I guess I'm yelling too. I'm yelling into the mic just as bad. But here, we'll cross over. We'll head right up Wacker here. Hey, look, there's a tour bus. They're taking a picture with the Cupsinet statue there. And look at the nice Wrigley and Tribune. Royal Sonesta, 17th Church of Christ Scientist. We film this stuff all the time. There's a tour. There's probably somebody giving a tour right there. Hey, look at the Marina Towers. There goes the big bus. Missed the bus. Yeah, he was loud. Here, Irv Cupsinet. Irv Cupsinet, he was a sports writer and a sports broadcaster. They got this great statue to him. Look at that juxtaposition with the Marina Towers. Irv Cupsinet, Chicago embodied the city he loved with his energy, enthusiasm. Chicago Sun-Times column, television shows. Look at that. Old Cup, there he is. So of course we got Jack Brickhouse, we got Harry Carey, and we got Cupsinet. All these legendary sports announcers and writers, people, the media here. And here's the big bus tour. You can ride the double deck bus. It's taking off there. There's many options, Take architecture tours, you take the bus, take the untouchable tours. They'll drive you around all the Prohibition era mob history. See how there's the London House. They added this, and then this is the Mather Tower. They turned that into a club quarters hotel. And London House, there's some restaurants, a corner bakery. I know, everybody's always like, where's the people at? They see these empty streets, and wintertime has something to do with it. But me, since I've lived here for 25 years and lived through the pandemic, downtown is not as crowded after the pandemic as it was before the pandemic. Every once in a while we'll get summer days, or the Monday and Tuesday when it was nice, the crowds will pop out and all these people on Michigan Avenue. You go a block or two over, it'll be empty like this, because just we don't have the amount of people that used to commute. The metro trains aren't as crowded as they used to be with people commuting, because so many people work from home, or they're on a flexible work schedule where they only work a few days in the office, the rest of the days they work from home. And if you're a working mother or a working father and you got kids, I understand people want the flexibility, and we're not going back as long as we got the internet, and that's what it is. They were jackhammering. They were jackhammering earlier this week on the Michigan Avenue Bridge, and they got it blocked off now. So I wonder if they're going to do some more work here. They're already doing some. Oh, look, they look. This is new. So earlier this week they were jackhammering here at lunchtime. They've already paved it over with new cement here. So look, there's fresh cement here on the Michigan Avenue abutment sidewalk here. The DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge here. And so within a week they busted up the concrete and paved it back over. So the city that works. Look at the London Guaranteed Accident Building. They call it the London House. Look at that. Larry and Balky used to work in this building. Here we got the light here. So, okay, thank you. Across the street here. And I remember watching that show when I was a kid. I didn't even live in Chicago. Never imagined I'd be walking by this building every day when I was a kid. When I would watch it on TV in that old sitcom in the 1980s. They got skeet shooting, Navy Pier. Yeah, I saw on old maps there used to be a gun club in Lincoln Park. I think it was further north. I think it was up, but there's still an archery field up by Belmont Harbor. It's on the other side of Belmont Harbor. I filmed the archery field. I think that's where they used to have a gun club, and they like the 50s and 60s. That's a Ferrari. That's a white Ferrari going down Michigan Avenue, revving up the engine. But maybe we can catch up to it at this light. Yeah, they used to have a gun club in the 50s, 60s. I don't know how long it lasted. And they used to actually do skeet shooting out into the lake. Yeah, they would shoot over the lake. I don't know how it worked with boats. It's always, you can't just, any direction, even if you think you're shooting into the lake, I mean, you're going to shoot to Michigan, 60 miles away. I guess the arc of the bullets won't go that far. But yeah, there used to be a gun club, but I don't think it's there anymore. But they still have an archery field over there, and we'll look into that. Yeah, there's a driving range up there at Diversity too. But there used to be like a Nike missile site in Lincoln Park back in the Cold War. There was all kinds of interesting stuff. Like they thought they would have to shoot down nuclear weapons. I'm not joking. We forget the Cold War because now we're like in the second Cold War, even though we're not calling it that. Whatever the Russian-Ukraine conflict is, the rebirth of NATO. See, we thought 4 years ago NATO was washed up. Now we're adding NATO members and people are chipping in. Here's we'll cross Wacker and Water here. We just kind of did a full circle here. But this is interesting stuff. Yeah, they stopped because of the lead. Yeah, the lead in the ordinance. It's not good for the environment. Yeah, it gets in the water. And Lake Michigan is our drinking source. So we don't want a bunch of bullet lead. Yeah, there's enough bad stuff in Lake Michigan, you know. We don't need to be putting more in it. But yeah, there's indoor gun ranges. I know people, you know, you can, used to be when I moved to Chicago, you weren't allowed to own firearms, but now the NRA was successful in removing that through the courts. And so there are gun ranges within the city where you can pay to shoot indoors and practice safely, you know, firing. And of course, my brother-in-law in Texas loves exercising his Second Amendment rights and teaching his kids how to safely use weapons, which, so, you know, I understand. I grew up as a farm boy. A lot of my cousins hunt and go deer hunting, and even architects I know go to Wisconsin and go deer hunting in fall. So, you know, even though I'm for responsible gun regulation, I still realize in our culture, it's going to be really hard to get rid of the gun-loving culture that we have in America. So, hey, I'm going to head back to work. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this is a nice walk here. Thanks for tuning in, seeing some of the ice skating rink here. We'll be on TikTok tonight, and then we'll ease into the weekend tomorrow. And then we'll do the Iditarod on Saturday and the Polar Plunge on Sunday. At least that's the plan. The weather should be getting nicer as we head into the weekend. So happy last day of February. Hope you guys have a good one. And yeah, you got open carry down there. I know, that's good. Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks to the Lunch Bunch. Thanks for the good discussion. And yeah, I'll forego getting my press pass for now. It'll save me some money. Talk to you later. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.